So you started your small business and you have been selling your products or your services for over a year now, and you're not seeing the sales or the earnings you were expecting when you have reached this milestone. Then you're doing something wrong. You haven't identified your target market, you have not identified your target audience, and you have not identified the different personas that make up the target audience. And because of this, because you haven't identified your target audience and understand the personas within your target audience, you were not able to create a brand identity that your target audience can relate to. So a brand identity encompasses different aspects. You have the visual aspect, which will be your logo and your color scheme. You have the personality aspect, the message aspect, the value aspect, of your brand, of your business. And because you have not built a brand identity that your target audience can relate to or feel a connection with, they aren't going to make sales. So your product is going to reach in front, your product or your service is going to reach in front of your target audience. They will not feel a connection to it, and they're going to go right past. You're going to get lucky and you may come across one of your target audience that probably wants your product or your service, and this is where you will make the 1 or 2 sales during the time your business has been in operation, but you have not really built any sort of community because your brand identity is non-existent. So let's get into what is brand identity and why it is important to your business's sales and earnings. So JUUL is a good example of how not understanding your target audience and creating a brand identity can affect your sales and your business. So JUUL is a vape product. It's a vape device that was created by 2 Stanford graduates because they saw a problem and they wanted to solve that problem, not just for themselves, but for every smoker out there. But remember, cigarettes had a negative attachment to it. It created lung cancer, which led to potential death. So these Stanford tech students came up with an idea to create a product that would eliminate tobacco from the smoking, but still give smokers that nicotine high that they are addicted to and that has become a tradition, a habitual tradition within their life on a daily basis. So if you paid attention to what I just said there, I just identified their target audience and the problem their target audience was having, and how their product would solve that target audience's problem. I identified these 3 things there. So it should have been cookie cuts when it came time to market this product. Well, guess what? It wasn't cookie cuts, okay? Because the marketing experts did not pay attention to what the product was, who the target audience were, what is the brand identity for this product, and how to effectively create the message to relay the product to the target audience and how it can help the problem that they have. Because the investors for the product wanted to get that out there quickly, because other businesses were starting to put out different vape products, they wanted to get their product out there immediately. So they enlisted the help of 1 or 2 marketing gurus, so to speak. And it was the wrong choice, because when that ad campaign came out, it said nothing. It did not reflect, it did not give the message, it did not show the brand identity of what and who the brand was for, the brand products was for. And because of this, the brand, the product, it ended up in the hands of the wrong audience. Even though it made billions, those billions immediately went down the drain. Remember, their target audience were smokers. Remember, smokers are mainly adults, 18 and above. And because it wasn't marketed properly, it did not reach the target audience. Because a brand identity was not created to put a message out when the marketing campaigns were out, it did not reach the target audience. And it ended up on an audience where they were not smokers. And you end up getting these teens and preteens addicted to a drug, to nicotine. And the nicotine content in the JUULs was ridiculously high. It was high because it was meant for smokers. So these teens and preteens that were never smokers to begin with had no idea. Their system never had nicotine in it. It was like a shock to their system, to their body. They got addicted to this thing so quickly. And they only had this, they only got into the product because it was marketed in this kind of fun, youthful, this is, hey, this is like a lifestyle, this is for partiers, this is for, that is the lifestyle they pushed. This is for younger people, hey, let's puff, puff, pass with the device. That is basically what it was. And because the vape looked like a sleek flash drive, it was easy for them to hide in classrooms. They just connected that on their laptops to charge, and it just looked like a bloody flash drive. It was so funny when I was watching this documentary, how easy it was able to penetrate that audience. Because it became a trend. It became a trend. And it was not solving the problem it was supposed to solve. It was creating a whole new problem that eventually was the downfall of that JUUL product. When they couldn't get the fix, they were looking for little imitation, whatever imitation product they could find. And this started to affect them, that they started to be hospitalized. Parents started to take notice. The same teens that was giving them the billions were the teens that started protesting and contributing to their downfall. All because their product was marketed in such a wrong way that it went to the wrong audience. And even though the company was getting the billions, those billions immediately fell. A lot of money had to go into a lot of court cases and settlements. All the billions they were making, they ended up losing that in courts. There were legislations that ended up coming out that sort of put their business in a negative light. And when they realized, but the funny thing was, they knew that their products was going into the wrong hands. And when the backlash started to come, that was when they decided, hey, let's switch up our marketing. This is not for these teens. We need to start to show who this is for. But it's already too late. It's already too late. The experts messed them up, screwed them over from the start. And it was too late for them to fix the problem through a new marketing campaign. It was too late. The damage was already done, and they had to pay the consequences out. Take a look at that Netflix documentary. I would recommend that small business entrepreneurs take a look at that documentary and pay attention to how they rised and how they fell. And you would understand what I'm saying when I say not understanding and creating a brand identity for your target audience when it's time for you to market and launch your products. You're going to end up messing that up if you don't do it right. And JUUL did not do it right. And this is how they fell. They raised like so quickly. Woo! That's my special effects. And they fell just as quickly. All because their product got into the hands of the wrong audience. And this is a great example of how not knowing your brand's identity and paying attention to your target audience and their problem starts to affect your sales and your business. So they may have made billions, but as quickly as they made it, they lost it because it did not go into the hands of the target audience. All right, so guys, I hope this video was helpful in showing you the importance of brand identity to a business and its sales. And until the next one, happy marketing, guys.